guys, and welcome to this week's Coffee and Hero Show, taking you through my pull list for the week. So these are all the titles that I was looking forward to reading this week across DC, across Marvel, across the indie publishers, and there will be a few variants in here as well, of course, because I can't help myself. And there's even a figure this week as well to throw into the bargain. So yeah, really packed week this week. Some great stuff from everywhere. So just to take you through it for this week. So we kick things off, as I say, I've got a figure for once. But I can't help myself when it comes to Dark Knight Returns stuff. So this is the Armored Batman. This is part of the McFarlane range through DC Multiverse. And again, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's got the battle scarred, armor. It's got extra hands for the gauntlet. It's got spikes in the shoes. It's just a really, really cool, really well designed figure. And McFarlane has been knocking these out of the park as far as I'm concerned this far. Little graphic novel for myself as well. I've been collecting all of the Mighty Marvel Masterworks, so of course going for the direct market variants because it showcases the original artwork as opposed to an updated cover from Michael Cho. Although those are nice as well, but I just am more of a sucker for the classic stuff. So early Doctor Strange with this one, Strange Tales 110 to 111, and also 114 to 129. But we'll move on to the single issues for this week. We kick things off with Arkham City, The Order of the World. This is from Dan Waters on writing duties, Danny on art. This has been basically following all of the escaped convicts from Arkham Asylum during the A-Day attacks, people who got out and what they've been up to in Gotham City. And it's been a really dark, twisted series so far. Been really, really enjoying it. And what you'll notice on the DC titles as well, you're starting to see these little adverts for the Batman out March 4th. So it's getting close. Speaking of the Dark Knight, of course, we have Batman 120 out this week as well. So Joshua Williamson, we've got Jorge Molina, Mikhail Yanin as well. So again, I've been loving the relaunch, so to speak, with Joshua Williamson on Batman. This is a new character called Abyss. The last issue was really, really class as well. But as well as that, we've also got a backup one, which is called a Gotham Academy Adventure. So something else to jump into there. And of course, it's Batman 120 and it's Batman. So of course, it has the Francesco Mattina variant, which again, I can never help myself with. And then I get the 1-25 variants as well, which are done by Dan Hip. I'm not 100% sold on these, I have to admit. They are a little strange compared to the darkness of the main title, but they're quite fun. Next up out this week is Dark Knights of Steel. Again, I collect variants for this one. This one's done by Bengal, a French artist who did a really great series, Death or Glory, with Rick Remender. So we're up to issue 4 now of Tom Taylor's series. And yeah, this has just been fantastic. I talk about it all the time in the podcast. Big fan. Next up, we have Detective Comics 1050. This was a release last week. I just had to wait until this week to get my copy of it, so I can continue on with the Shadows of the Bat mini-series, or 12-issue series, I should say. Next up, we have the Joker Puzzle Box. This has been great, and I've been loving these Chip Zdarsky covers as well. This is from Matthew Rosenberg, Jesus Moreno as well. And I believe issue 7 is the last issue of this one, so it won't be too far away from hitting trade/hardcover, whatever your preference is. But yeah, it's been a really, really cool title, and it's nice to see a title focus on the Joker that has minimal Batman involvement, but it does have every other Gotham villain you can think of in it. On the bit of Marvel now, we have first of all from Jim Zub is Avengers Tech on Avengers. We're up to issue 6 of this, which again I believe is the last issue. Again, these have just been fun. Little mini-series, Transformers meets Power Rangers meets Avengers. Again, just good, clean, disposable fun. Next up, we have Daredevil Woman Without Fear. So we're on to issue 2 of this. This has been great with Chip Zdarsky. This is a 3-issue mini-series that sort of mirrors the events of Devil's Reign, but it's very much its own thing as well, focusing on Elektra. And again, that's been awesome so far. New title out this week that I must be honest, I'm not massively interested in. It's a sequel to Non-Stop Spider-Man called Savage Spider-Man. I'm not that interested, but it does have this awesome Scotty Young cover, which of course I have to get for Vicky because she gets every Scotty Young cover. And this is a beauty as well. Next up, we have The Thing. We're up to issue 4 of this. This has been focused on Ben Grimm. There's been a great little mini-series. It's going to be 5 issues in total. This is issue 4, and I always again go for the variant. So in this case, it's a Joshua Cassara Stormbreakers variant for that one. Speaking of Scotty Young variants, we also have for the new All Reds series with Marvel called The Echolans. And again, this is another Scotty Young cover. On the other hand, compared to Savage Spider-Man, I am looking forward to reading this because anything involving the All Reds, I'm on board with. Next up we have Crossover. We're up to issue 11 then of the Donny Cates Jeff Shaw saga. Again, this was a title that sort of lost me a little bit around issue 8 to issue 9, but then I thought it really improved around issue 10, so I'm sticking with it. I always was worried that it would never quite reach those peaks again of the Chip Zdarsky one-shot, but I think it's actually been really great, the second arc. Next up we have Echolans, which of course is the Sideways comic, if you will. For this one, I went with a Francesco Francavilla variant for this because I love Francavilla's work. The cover is beautiful as well. It's by the series creator, J.H. Williams III, but just love me some Francavilla. There is this 80-page giant this week for a Gagger. So this is essentially going to be telling tales within the Gagger-verse. You know, you've got a lot of great talent involved in this. You've got Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, Brian Hitch, Kelly Jones, Sean Galloway. Tons of great creators, Peter J. Tomasi, Pornsack, Pishy Show, and more as well. So nice big square bound 80-pager, and again expanding the world of Gagger, which was a great 6-issue series in itself. Next up we have the Magic Order 2, issue 4. We always collect the cover Bs for this, which is the black and white inked version of the covers, but not coloured. And again, this has been superb so far. Mark Millar, Stuart Immonen on that. Next one up is a brand new Image #1, which to be honest I don't know an awful lot about, but I always like to give Image #1s a shot. This is a series called New Masters. So again, I believe it's a mini-series, 5 issues, but I'll give it a go to #1 and report back to you guys what we think. Next up we have New BERN #3, so again Chip Zdarsky, that boy really gets around, along with Jacob Phillips. This is his sort of mob private investigator hard crime series. First 2 issues were superb. I'm sure issue 3 will keep up the high standard. Next up we have Nina Hawes' Nightmare Blog. This is issue 4 of the spin-off from Philadelphia. And Rodney Barnes, Jason Sean Alexander still involved. Simon Kodransky providing some art as well. And Lou NCT in colours. This has been great. I mean, Philadelphia, it focuses on vampires. Nightmare Blog focuses on demons. But yeah, great series so far. Next up, and I'll have to pull out quite a few here because I went for like every variant under the sun with this as well. Next up is Nocterra. So Nocterra is back. This is volume 2, so to speak, of Nocterra. There was a one-shot that came out, which was the Blacktop Bill special, but we're back to the series proper now. Scott Snyder, Tony S. Daniel, the trades we have in store. We still have a limited amount of the signed bookplate trades as well, if you want to play catch-up, and then issue 7 is where you go on to next. So that's the cover A. This is the first variant, which is Jason Fabuk and Brad Anderson. Then we have one by Danny, who is the artist on Arkham City, Order of the World. Then we have this rather grisly one from Tony S. Daniel, but again, absolute class. Then we have the Virgin 1-10s of the Danny cover. And we finish off the 1-25, again, Jason Fabuk, just his original inks. Yeah, I'm a real sucker for Nocterra. Next up, we have the official Image timeline. So this is more like a reference book as opposed to a comic book, but it's basically going over the entire history of Image. Every page is filled with, you know, important events that happened that year, important titles to the company, who was involved, when they jumped on board to jump on with Image, you know, sales figures. It's more of a, as I say, a reference book, but it's something I'm really interested in because, you know, the rise of Image has been one of the best stories in comics, I think, in the last 30 years. So a couple just to finish off with. First of all, we have Primos. This is a 4-issue miniseries through AWA. Of course, I'll always jump on board their stuff. I'm not too familiar with the writer Al Madrigal. The artist Carlo Barberi, I've enjoyed their work before, but again, AWA's, they specialize in genre storytelling, so I'll look forward to jumping into that. Next up, we have issue 12 of The Scumbag. This is the Rick Remender title, which again, it's so much more clever than the title would suggest. I believe this is going to end with issue 14, so a 3-volume series if you're more of a trade reader. But again, I just think this has been tons of fun and actually has something to say. 2 to finish off with, I'll just do the first one quickly, simply because this was out last week, which is Telepaths number 5. This is the J. Michael Straczynski and Steve Epting addition to the AWA Resistance universe. Again, it came out last week. I just had to wait until this week for my copy. And we finish off, which is always a great thing to finish off with The Walking Dead. So up to issue 32, we're hip deep in the 6th story arc of The Walking Dead. And again, enjoying those wonderful, wonderful colours from Dave McCaig. So yeah, so that is my pull list for the week. Again, there's always stuff beyond this that's out this week that's not on my pull list. But you guys can certainly check out that we'll have in store. So, we'll look forward to seeing you on new release day. Again, if there's anything that, appeals to you, don't have a chance to get down or whatever until a few days later, just drop us a message and we'll always do our best to get you guys sorted. So, again, hope this has proved useful, kept you up to date with what's out, what to look out for, and we'll see you again next week. So, look forward to seeing you guys in the store as always, and stay safe out there. So, take it easy.